Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lilkatz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page here at Facebook, where I do the daily live stream around the card draw that I do every morning. Yeah, and today is Saturday. Can you believe it? Saturday. Actually, for a moment there, I thought it was Sunday. You can tell how much I am like blinders on, focused on Star Nations magazine publication, which is happening today. And so, yeah, kind of lost my days there because like this morning felt like one day, and this afternoon a second day. Right? That's how busy we are. So, welcome. Today's card draw is very interesting, and we're going to get started in just a second. Hey, girlfriend, Elise says hello, and Stephanie's here, and Rochelle is here. Hey, the whole gang's here. I love it. I do. I do. And before we get rolling too far down the road, I'm going to share. Okay, I'm going to like and share. And so it's just going to take me a second here. Got to get to the live stream. There we go. Going to like it, and we're going to share it. Doesn't take very long because I've done this so much. I have all these quick keys now. I just have to make sure I put the commas in there. And yep. And please join me. There we go. There's one. And now I'm going to post to the Star Nations closed group. One of our closed groups anyway. And when I say, hey peeps, I'm live streaming. And please join me. There we go. We're going to do it to the Radio Network closed group and the Academy group. Yay. There. Done. Done and done. Cool, huh? And thank you for those who also liked and joined. It's really a big help, really, because we know that elusive creature called Facebook, what it likes to eat, and that is it really, really likes and loves, for us to do that kind of liking and sharing. So we appreciate it. We end up in the news feed hopefully more often, right, when we do that. So, all right. So let's see. Elise is here. Rochelle is here. Stephanie's here. Rochelle says, how are you doing today? Is it cold and snowy? It's cold and snowy here in Michigan, she's saying. And Jackie is here. Hello, Jackie. Yeah, thank you for doing the love button. I appreciate it. Liked and shared, Elise says. Well, how am I doing? Actually, for publishing day, I'm doing quite well. I worked late last night trying to figure out some technology around YouTube videos that aren't loading correctly in the platform. And I did everything I knew how to do. I called in the spiritual team and say, okay, what's going on here? Show me, because whatever I'm doing is not working. And so we worked on it, and pretty soon it was like, okay, got to call it like it is, right? I got to call the techs. And so I sent them a message. So we're waiting for them. I had set a deadline that if I didn't hear from them by the time we finished this broadcast, that I was going to go ahead and publish anyway, knowing that I'm going to have to go back and republish when we get those 2 links fixed. And so I don't want to hold up the whole magazine just for 2 YouTube links. So we're going to publish right after we get done with this broadcast. So I'm kind of excited about it. I love the 10th of every month when we get to publish the magazine. Yeah, I do. Does it mean I'm not tired? Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. In fact, I have coffee this afternoon. Coffee. And Paul got a new blend, and honestly, I didn't even take a look at who is the distributor who makes the coffee. It's in a really pretty package though. It's got maple in it, maple syrup. And so when I was brewing it, it really smelled good. It smelled sweet though. And so, hey, Julie's in the house too. Um, and, uh, and so I have this brand new, and it smells great. I'm going to taste it in just a little bit as soon as it cools down a little bit. So that's how I'm doing. It is, it's cold. When I got up this morning at 6 o'clock, it was 11. Yes, 11 degrees above zero. So, I laughingly say that, but I live in northern Wisconsin, and we know that cold, bitter cold is coming, and we dress for it. I've got warm boots, I got a warm jacket, and honestly, the older I get, the less fashion sense I take in. I'd rather be warm and get all nice and bundled up than to wear this thin car coat with the boots with the heels and that are not warm at all. And so and now that we have George, there's no way I can wear those kind of boots when I'm walking with him. Can you imagine that on snow and ice? Not me. And so oh, thank you, Elise. She says, I wish I could help more. Well, where there's a will, there's a way. Where I just need to slow down enough to reflect, right? To reflect, and that's my on my list to do tomorrow, is to take tomorrow a little bit easy. And I want to take some time and kind of reflect on some things, because Stephanie, actually, thank you very much, Stephanie. She had two really great ideas yesterday. Crossword puzzle for Star Nations, and also trivia for Star Nations. And I thought, we can't let those die on the vine, those ideas. We can't do it. And so I'm going to try to find a way to bring those two ideas to life. And Stephanie's already started working on the crossword puzzle piece. And so you might just get your wish, Elise. You might be helping me pull together the questions for a trivia game that I would like to have ready to go on New Year's Eve. And I was thinking about that a little bit too, as I was waiting for stuff to download or upload. Is that, we have our community is across so many time zones, right? That a fox just crossed in front of the building. Like, I want to say not even 30 yards from me. Not even. Red fox. Woohoo! Shape-shifting. Yeah. For him to be out this time of day, it's cold. He's got to get some energy. He's got to get some fuel. So anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness. Train of thought just out the window with the fox. Elise says she loves working on the magazine. I know you do. And I'm so grateful for it too. Elise is saying fashion. What is that? I know, when you live in the country and you don't have, sidewalks, it's kind of hard to wear those. It's not that I don't like them. I do. They're just not safe and they're not warm. Rochelle says, I agree with you regarding fashion. Yeah. Okay, back to the trivia. So Elise, you might get your wish. I might be tapping your shoulder and asking you to help write questions, so, and we're going to, the time zone thing. So I was thinking, we may have to have a couple of rounds with this. We may have to start like early afternoon, because like in Ireland, they're 6 hours ahead of us. Same way with England. And so if we do a 1 o'clock, that's early evening for them, like just after supper kind of thing. After the supper hour, around, what would that make that? 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. And then maybe, play for, I don't know, an hour or so, hour and a half, and then take a break and come back again, maybe around 4, so that we can catch those people who like to go to bed early. And then I thought maybe we could start again at like 7 after supper and do another round. I don't know. That's what I had in my head. That would fill up my day completely, right? Because I'd be producing and maybe getting a couple of the other show hosts to produce too. That would be kind of fun. So, there's a lot of planning we have to do around it, and I get very excited about it, and the adrenaline starts to flow. And so we'll get it done, though. We will, because those are two really great ideas. I'm going to get some energy underneath them and light that fire, right? Light the fire. And so the cards that came today are very interesting in the combination because we've had them before in other combinations. And so it's going to be interesting in seeing how they kind of, the energy that they're bringing to us, right, to be aware of. And so the first one we've had before, and it's the Hermit. Retreat and recharge. Do you think they were talking directly to me? Retreat and recharge. In the background, if you look in the background, you can see the Sri Yantra, and that is, it is sacred geometry, right? But it's the balance between male and female energies in the Hindu and other Middle Eastern kind of belief systems. Okay. Yeah. Very interesting image, isn't it? Because he's sitting in a cave in a mudra, and I should know this mudra. What is this mudra? I'm sure there's somebody in the chat that knows this mudra. When you're in meditation and you have your thumb and index finger together. I was going to look that up, and honestly, I forgot. So what is that? So we're so how Rochelle says, how long did it take for the Taj Mahal to be built? A long time, because the Taj Mahal was built as a symbol of love, right, to his queen. So it took a while. It took a long while. I don't know how many years though. Yeah. And that's not the kind of trivia questions we're looking for, Rochelle, if that's what you're doing. I don't know exactly what the question was for. Where the questions are going to be based on star nations. So the shows, the magazine, the classes, all things, the publishing, all things star nations. That's what the trivia game is going to be about. So for those people who watch and come and have been a part of our audience for years, you guys are going to be in the know. That's right. 22 years. I knew it was a long time. I was going to say a lifetime, but that's not a very good answer, is it? So anyway, let's get back to the Hermit, and that he's sitting in this cave. And I have to tell you that my meditation room, which many times is called the medicine room, right, is upstairs. And when the previous owners did the addition to the house, because we have 2 master bedrooms in our house, when they did the first floor renovation, to put that extra rooms onto the first floor, they took out the window from the bedroom upstairs, which means that room doesn't have a window. And when we first moved in, it's like, oh man. But we'd make it work. We'd turn it into a walk-in closet or something, right? Well, it turned out that it became my meditation room, and I literally meditate. I go and sit in there in the dark. It's so dark in there you can't see your hands in front of your face, and so it really takes away all of the outer stimuli, right? And it is quite calming. I had to be careful though, because when I take others where they're with me to do journey work or to do meditations or anything like that, is I have to let them know that it is dark, completely dark. There are some people who have post-traumatic stress, and putting them in a dark room like that would really trip them out. And so we have to be kind of careful with that. And if there's anybody who wants to work on that kind of stuff, there's a way that we can ease them into it. So, hey, Sandy. Oh, good. Thank you for the information. It's the Gyan Mudra. This is probably the most familiar mudra in the mainstream society. Meditators are often seen pairing this mudra with their practice. The intention of the Gyan, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Gyan Mudra is to improve your concentration and sharpen your memory. All right, and this is a great mudra to use when seeking to gain knowledge. Try holding this mudra while meditating for insight into your life or a specific issue. The method is this mudra is performed by touching your index finger to the tip of your thumb while holding the other three fingers straight. The elements are space plus air. I love that. Thank you, Cindy. I called you Sandy. Sorry. Cindy, I thank you so much. That is really good information to share. I appreciate it. And I'm sure that others in the chat appreciate it too. Because you're right. We see this mudra quite often, especially in the Western world here. And there's many, many, many more mudras to hold while you're in meditation or other outside of meditation. And so thank you, Cindy. I love it. I love it. In fact, I'm going to love it. There we go. I just put the emoticon on it. There we go. That's great information. I appreciate it. Okay, doesn't matter, Cindy, that you copied it from it's good information. See, when we help each other like that, right? Because I could have gone out to while I was talking to you guys, I could have gone out to the web and got the information, but it would pull my focus away from what we're doing right here. But you were able to do that for us, and you know what? I appreciate it, and yeah, I know. There's when we help each other like that, that's what friends are for, right? So I think. So let's find out what Kyle Gray, who is the author of the Oracle deck, let's see what he says about Hermit. Hermit. And Hermit. Gotta get to the right page here. Okay, so it says retreat and recharge. The message being take time to rest and recuperate in order to continue your growth. Benefit from the information that will come directly from your heart space. You'll benefit from the information coming directly from your heart space. And yesterday, our the cards were basically telling us to take the time to reflect, right? To take stock of the accomplishments that we've done and the wisdom that we've gained from those challenges that we went through and came out to the other side, right? And so, in this today, they're saying, okay, now that you've got your reflection done and you've got considered the wisdom and maybe even asked your spiritual team questions to help you understand it even better, now it's time just to take a little time to rest, a little R&R. Yeah. Because it says the Hermit card is one of solitude and meditation. It represents your capacity to go within and arrive at the cave of your heart. Many of the answers to your problems lie within, and if you don't take the time to connect with yourself and feel comfortable alone, you won't be able to hear the messages that are rising up inside you. And when I read that again, right, because we've done this before, is that when when I was teaching Awakening Illuminated Heart classes, there is a part of both our physical heart and our spiritual space of our heart. There's two areas. The first area is the sacred space of your heart, right? And that is kind of like your own personal Akashic records. Everything that your soul has ever experienced is in the sacred space. And you can learn so much about yourself by going in meditation, traveling to that place spiritually, and spending time there. And you'll have almost like a tour guide, right? If you want, to show you the highlights and to show you the things that you've learned that you're using in this life, or things that you could use in this life. But the second space is called the tiny space of your heart. And they say that it's the holiest place on earth, right? Is the tiny space of our hearts. Why is that? Because in that space, we are in a unified field. There is no duality. Everything is in balance. And we're directly connected to the Creator, or whatever you call the divine, okay? Whether you call them God or Goddess or Prime Creator, whatever you call that energy, that feeling, right? And so when we go to the tiny space of the heart, when we're quiet and we're listening, we can ask for any kind of information there, because we are in our soul self, our high self, when we're in there. And so we're completely connected to the collective information. You can do healings in there for yourself. You can do forgiveness work in there. And when you do forgiveness work, it is automatic. It's like from the time you start your prayer, or whatever you're saying in there, and by the time you're finished, in the next breath, it's done. It's done and complete. And so when I read this information about the cave and going in there to be able to be quiet and to listen, that's what that reminded me of. Yep. Kyle goes on to say that the cross-legged meditation position of the cave-dwelling sadhu on the card is an invitation to harness the power of your meditation practice. The Sri Yantra symbol behind him represents the union of masculine and feminine energies, hence support from Mother, Father, God. Okay. And so when we're in our hearts and when we're in that space called the tiny space of the heart, in fact, there's an ancient group of people, indigenous people, called the Upanishads, and they're from India, right? And the Upanishads are the ones that called that space the tiny space. It's a very small space, but when you're in there, you have access to the entire universe, right? And it's very comforting. It's a comforting place. And when you're there, like I said, there's no duality. So there's this balance between the male and female energies, because you're in a unified field. Yeah. Hey, Mary Summers just joined us. Hello, Mary. The extended message is: you have been working hard and giving your all to your current situation, and it may become draining and detrimental to your development unless you retreat and recharge your energies. So you are being guided to take a step back at this time. If you're working on bringing something together, over-involvement could impede the process. So retreat and breathe. If you have something to say or do that could have a larger impact on your life, spend some time in deep thought, even contemplation, before moving forward. Often we rush in, we don't see how destructive our actions can be. So meditate and listen to your soul's wisdom before proceeding further. before we rush in. What's that? There's a song and there's a movie about fools rushing in, right? Without taking at least a glance at what is in the environment, what's going on around you before you rush in. Yeah. There's also another old saying, like bulls in a china shop, right? I don't know where that started from, but bulls in a china shop. Elisa's asking, how's your mom? Um, she's doing okay. She wasn't feeling well a couple days ago. Um, she was afraid she was getting the flu. She does have the flu shot, but she was afraid she was getting the flu. Stomach upset, headache, feeling achy. And so I had to take a little bit more time to be with her and, getting her teas and that kind of stuff. She won't take anything for it. She won't take any Tylenol or anything like that. So, doing some hands-on and some oils and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, it's a tough time of year for her. It's always been this way from the time that she's moved in. I've noticed it, is that this seasonal change from fall to winter is the hardest one for her to deal with, because of the body aches, the pain, and also the emotional effect, because it's getting darker earlier and that kind of stuff. So she's doing okay for 99. She's doing pretty darn good. Yeah. Yeah. Her sense of humor is still there, that's for sure. You had me laughing just before I came up here. I said, because I didn't give her a choice of what she was having for her afternoon snack. I just took it into her and she kind of looked at me. And I said, no, we're trying some new coffee. And I thought you'd like to try it with us, She goes, well, it smells good. And I said, well, yeah, we're going to have to taste test it and rate it. and she says, but I don't get paid enough. So, she's doing all right. Elise says, me too. My biggest problem is the leaves and the mold. Give her a hug for me. I certainly will. I certainly will. And for her, she doesn't go out. The only time she goes out is for doctor's appointments. Although, she could go sit in the Four Season porch if she wanted to. We have a fireplace in there. We could turn up the heat. Or in the summertime, she could go in there when it's cooler, like in the mornings. Or in the afternoons when it's warm and she wants to feel that heat. But she doesn't do that. And yeah, there's not much I can do about it. Not much. She knows it's available. All right, so with the Hermit card is telling us to basically go into our hearts. Go and be quiet for a while. There's really nothing that you have to do. Yeah, you might have a task or a project or something coming up that's pretty big that you want to get information about, and you can do that. But if you can go in without any agenda and just go and sit in the quiet, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to feel about. There's nothing. And it's to go, and even if you can just do it for a couple of minutes, if you want, you can set the timer and just sit there and just be. And that's what they're trying to get across to us, right? Is because we're so busy, and they just had us doing some pretty important and intense stuff in the last 3 or 4 weeks because of this manifestation, this creation that we were bringing in, whatever that was for you. And then they had us, reflecting on our what we learned from the challenges that we'd been through. Yeah. And now it's about just being quiet just for a little while, just for a few moments. Hey, Mary Anderson Fry. And so that's why they brought us the Hermit card, is that it's time to go within. It's time to retreat to your heart. and to the quietness there. Yeah. And if you've never done that, try it. In fact, we could do that right now, right? Okay. Just for a moment, just so you get the feeling of it, right? So if you could put your feet on the floor, if you can, and sit with your back as straight as possible and still be comfortable, right? I got to take a taste of this coffee first. Oh, yuck. I don't know. It's missing something. Maybe I need more sweetener in there. Oh well. We'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, so if you can sit with your feet on the floor, and let's try that. Let's try that mudra. Put your hands in your lap with your palms up, right? And you're going to be, it's like you're pinching something, right? And your other three fingers are straight, or as straight as they can be. And just lay them in your lap with your palms up. Okay? All right. And the first time, we're just going to take a big deep breath in and just blow it out, just so that we can get our muscles to relax a little bit, okay? So here we go. Big deep breath in, really filling up your lungs. And then blowing it out. All the way out. There you go. Yeah, and just taking like a moment in between. Okay. Now, if you wouldn't mind closing your eyes for this one, okay? Because we're going to take another big deep breath in. And just close your eyes and then really blow out the breath, okay? So here we go. Big deep breath in. And then blowing it out. There we go. And when with your eyes closed, is that you're just calling to yourself, just bringing all of your awareness to this moment. Calling yourself back, all the thoughts of something in the past or something in the future. It's okay. They'll still be there in a moment. And just calling yourself back and noticing your body, your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. Noticing your shoulders, the chair that you're sitting on. Just noticing, bringing your focus, your attention back to this moment. Okay? Good. And we're just going to take a nice, easy, deep breath in, okay? And when you do that, on the exhale, we're going to be imagining what it's like to be in the tiny space of our heart. All right, so here we go. Nice, easy, deep breath in. And on the exhale, imagine what it might be like if you're in the tiny space of your heart, the holiest place on earth, a quiet space. Just breathing easy and naturally. Just for a moment, to be in the stillness and the quietness. And just to notice there's nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing to see, just quiet. Good. All right. Now taking a nice, easy, deep breath in. And on the exhale, opening your eyes and coming back to this moment on our live stream. Okay. There. It was just a moment, just to experience what it's like to be in that stillness and that quietness, right? Because that's what this first card is referring to, right? Whoops, where'd he go? Where'd the Hermit go? Here he is. That first card, retreat and recharge. Retreating to your heart, recharging in that loving space, right? Yeah, just for a moment. I kind of enjoyed that. Hey, Elise said she had to go. We'll catch up on the archives. See you later. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah. Hi, Nellie, Mervin. Hello to everyone. He said, just got home from work. Oh, good for you. Welcome to the chat room. And Anne's here. Hey, Anne. Yeah, we were just, this is the first card that came, and it's the Hermit. And it's about recharging, retreating, taking a moment to be in your heart where it's quiet, so that you can hear your own soul, maybe giving you messages, right? And I want to talk about our soul like it's completely separate from us. No, it's a part of us. It's the highest aspect of us. And so we're really listening to ourselves. And when you're in the tiny space of the heart, your soul is connected directly to the Creator, to God, Goddess, the divine. And so Spirit is asking us to take a moment, some time, some earth time to be quiet. We've been working pretty hard. And this is just a moment to be in that recharging, that healing space, really. Yeah, that's a good one. And so we did just a moment. We did a quick centering and experiencing the quiet. The second card that came is the Earth Guardian. It says, stay rooted and grounded. Stay rooted and grounded. So when you're in that space, that quiet space where you have nothing, literally nothing to do. There's no one to talk to. There's no task that has to be done. There's nothing that you have to solve or think through. It's literally to be in your heart and to feel the stillness and the quietness, right? Now, that doesn't mean that you might get some messages. That's great. but your physical self, your conscious self, there's nothing to do but listen, and just to be there, to listen to the silence. Yeah. And then that second card is to remind us that even though we're there, our conscious self should be grounded to Grandmother Earth. Because when we're grounded to her, we're calmer. We feel more stable. Yeah, and our energy is actually pretty even. You don't have those really, the spikes or the lows, right? It's pretty even. Yeah. And you can always tell those people who are grounded, because they're calmer, for one thing. And they feel good to be around. When you're around somebody whose energy is kind of chaotic and I call them ricochet rabbit. I know I'm dating myself, but ricochet rabbit, where their energy is bouncing all over the place. Sometimes they can be fun to be with when you're at a party, or it's a very social and joyful time. Sometimes their energy is really good to be around. But most times you're gravitated toward somebody who you can feel the stability. You can feel the strength, right? Yeah. Yeah. And so the Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. The message is take some time to connect deeply with the energy of the earth so that you can feel supported and make decisions based on strength and integrity. The Earth Guardian represents the angels of Earth who bring the medicine of feeling grounded and strong. They are the protectors of the land and the planet and can help you connect with your mission here and how you can support the evolution of the planet. The card is a beautiful part angel, part elemental, showing that there are divine beings without a human gender. Their staff, adorned with a dream catcher, shows that they have the capacity to help you ground your dreams into reality. Right? You see that? It's got a dream catcher on there. Okay. And it also says that it's important for you to take a grounded approach to your current situation. If you're rushing ahead or making a decision based on your more fearful responses, you'll miss out on the growth you deserve. Take time to calm down and get grounded before proceeding further. Breathe, relax, and connect with your center. Then consider what to do. It's important to plant seeds that are going to grow into something beautiful rather than turn into weeds you'll have to take care of later. And so basically, this card is saying, go into your heart, be quiet, retreat, recharge. Listen to your silence, listen to the silence, listen to your higher self, your soul. And it also says that this helps us to slow down, right? This one is basically telling us the same thing, is that we also need to be grounded and centered. There's no reason to rush into anything. It's to slow down, listen to your higher self, get grounded. So basically, both of them were saying, don't rush into anything. Don't rush in. Take some time to be in the quiet. And possibly, you'll be able to hear the information coming through from your soul. And you'll also be able to feel your spiritual team around you too, because they're always there, always. You're never alone. Yeah. I was just turning my attention to them for a moment. It feels like they're cheering. It's like, yay. So I know I must have hit the nail on the head. Did I do that? Yep, I did. Okay. So, I was talking about the tiny space of the heart. That's what they're cheering about. And to be able to be in the quiet, right? There's something about the solid. When you come out of that meditation, you feel calmer. You do. And you feel happier too. All right. So in the third card that came is the star Ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. So whatever we're hearing, sensing, feeling, the information we're getting in that quiet place, in that tiny space of your heart, where your soul is connected directly to the Creator, we're getting the message from our ancestors is to follow that voice of our soul. Something pretty important, I think. Like we've had these cards before, but not in this particular combination. And I really do feel like they're telling us that they, meaning spirit, is that we need to slow down, to be quiet. No telephones, no iPads, no Mac laptop, and just to be quiet. To be quiet. And to listen to our soul. Because at a soul level, we have all the answers already. They're all right there. And that sounds like forest therapy to me, doesn't it though? I agree. I totally agree. All right, so then we're going to see what the star ancestor is all about. To refresh our memory. The star ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. So the message is heed the messages coming directly from your soul. The star ancestor is reminding you that you have otherworldly support, and that your friends from the stars can help you if you're willing to be helped. They can support you in connecting with and following your soul's deepest calling. All right. So when we're sitting in the quiet and we hear our higher self, our highest aspect of ourselves, communicating with us, right? And it could be in words, it could be in colors, it could be in feelings, it could be in animals bringing you a message, is that we pay attention to that. We mark it as important, right? Now, that doesn't mean that when you're sitting there in the quiet that you get into the analysis of it. Remember, there's nothing to do but listen. Now, when that moment's done for you, however long you're in that meditation, that quietness, when you're finished and you come back to the present time, journal it, write down some notes, sketch it, however you want to bring it, so that when you look at it, you'll remember what was shown to you, what was told to you, right? And then you can start the research and start the analysis of it. Then you can start asking your spiritual team questions. Explain that to me. How did that happen? How can it happen? How do I get from here to there? Those kinds of things. But when you're in that quiet space and you're listening, all you're doing is receiving, listening. No analysis, no mental thought. Right? All right. And so Kyle goes on to say that there is a deeper purpose to your human journey. Not only were you born on purpose, you were born for a purpose. You were born to be a bright light in the world, and there are supporters out there in the universe sending waves of energy to guide you at this time. Information and inspiration that has been coming your way recently is not new information, but memories. Your feelings of being drawn in a particular direction are the awakening of an aspect of your soul. Continue following the cosmic guidance that's coming your way. I think that, we've spent some time being active, right? Actively doing something, creating, grounding that manifestation to the earth plane. We've been actively doing our soul work. And yesterday we were being asked to do the reflection, taking stock of what we gained, the wisdom that we gained, and learning our lessons. Today it's about, okay, you've done the work. Now let's take a break, recharge, right? Hey, guess who's here? Georgie's here. Oh, and Paul's here too. Hey, and George. I don't know if you guys can, he's running around in the background. Put the camera down just a little bit. Maybe we'll catch him on camera. And I think that's what we're being told, right? Is to listen to our soul. We have to go into the quiet now. Go into the quiet. Listen. Listen to our soul. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. How do you guys feel about that? Force therapy does sound like that, doesn't it? And he's right behind me. He's in his usual spot. Yeah. What? Oh, well, take it away from us. He's got my shoe. You'll see, Paul. Here he comes.
This is gonna take my shoe away from George. So I think we get to spend maybe the rest of the afternoon, huh? Being quiet. You guys can. I have a magazine to publish this afternoon. When I get that done, I'll do a little solitude too. In fact, I might even take a nap. So anything we talked about today, right? Remember, if it resonated with you, grab it, hold on to it, see how the energy unfolds for you, and taking that time to be quiet. Yeah. And if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Don't worry about it. It wasn't for you. And every day I say, maybe you're the messenger. Maybe you share the recorded video with a friend or somebody who maybe is looking for the information or enjoys this kind of conversation, right? Yeah, there it is. And so coming up this week, we have on Tuesday morning, Mervyn Kelly, who is in the chat room. He's a live stream host for us at Star Nations Radio Network. He is the host of From Star to Stone. And his show comes on at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay. And Mervyn is going to be sharing with us about perlite. I think I pronounced that right. A crystal. And we're going to be getting into what'd you call it, Mervyn? There was it was a really kind of catchy phrase that went along with that. The mysteries of perlite. I think that's what you said. See, there's George. He's getting big, isn't he? He's 35 pounds. And when he comes charging at you, there's 35 pounds coming running right at you. And so Mervyn is on Tuesday mornings, this coming Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then at noon is Polly Jo LeBay with Soul Connections. And then at 2 o'clock is this live stream for the card draw information. And then in the evening at 8 p.m. Eastern is my weekly show, Communications from Home. And I figured out what we're going to be talking about on Tuesday night. I didn't know yesterday, but I do today, is that we're going to be talking about the November issue and all things Star Nations magazine. So one of the things that we're going to be discussing on Tuesday night is I'm hoping you're going to be able to join me, number one, because we're going to be talking about topics that you, our audience, and our readers would like us to cover in 2019. So bring your ideas, and we're willing I'm willing to find the writers for it, and the contributing writers, they'll be willing to share their wisdom, their experience with you on whatever topic that might be. So we're looking for your help. So that's on Tuesday. Wednesday is Polly Jo is back on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for Soul Connections. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right. So enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central for the daily live stream. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bama Mina. Until we see each other again. Love you guys.